Hey friends, welcome to the Be Chill podcast. This is your host, Bianca Marrujo. I'm using this space to discuss all the things. Let's ride this wave together. Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Be Chill podcast. As you can see, today we are recording, we're filming in our little studio. Shout out to Gerard for setting everything up, all the lighting and everything. I hope that you guys truly like the aesthetic of everything. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode. Today is going to be a little different, of course, because we're filming, and also I'll be discussing a new topic for us. Um, so I'm thinking about changing my future days that I'm going to be releasing episodes just because my schedule's changing due to this new position I got. So my weekly schedule is changing. So I'm thinking of, instead of Thursdays, we will be releasing episodes, I believe, Saturdays. But I'm still in the works. Everything is still pretty new, and we're still playing with things to see how it works. So just bear with me. Thank you so much for your patience. And today I do want to discuss a few things. I wanted to share a little bit more of myself, as if I haven't done enough yet. But this part of me is a little intimate, and a part of me is like a little embarrassed to share, but I have to be real and I have to be open. So recently, about almost 3 months ago, I got a procedure done. This procedure is called the sleeve, and basically it's where they remove about 70% of your stomach, and you're left with like a little sleeve, kind of. It looks like a banana. So the portions of what I could eat is super small. Um, I try to eat every 2 hours. I could sip like on, basically I could have anything that I've had in the past, like food wise, but you try to keep it limited, and you try to consume more healthy foods than anything else, and you want to focus on like protein and stuff that's gonna add value to your body instead of unhealthy food. So I got this procedure November 4th, and honestly it took me a long time to come to terms with the decision that I made. I probably had been thinking about it for like a year and a half. I've been doing a lot of research, and I was on TikTok a lot looking at other people's experiences. And it wasn't until July that I actually made the decision to actually like start the process, which was like doing all the like visiting doctors and asking questions and doing all the necessary stuff that you have to do, like including the classes and everything that you have to do prior to having the procedure. So I ended up having it, like I said, November 4th, and it was something that I was not prepared for, to be honest. I did do, like I said, a lot of research and stuff like that. I spoke to so many people that had gotten it, and I even have family members that have done it. I have coworkers that have done it, and more negative comments than I received more positive comments than negative comments, sorry. And still it was nothing like going through the experience yourself. You kind of have to, it's one of those situations that you have to go through it to really understand what you did. So that was my case. I had my procedure done November 4th, and right away, like right within the hour, you're coming down from the anesthesia and all the medications that they keep you on during the procedure. So that's when like the nausea comes in, you're really weak, you're barely able to like finish a ounce of water, and it's really difficult. It was super difficult for me. I was in the hospital for a day and a half after the procedure, and then once I came home was when it was super difficult. Like um I think by the time the 2 weeks were up and I went back to work, I was so completely over like sugar free drinks and protein and all that stuff that you have to drink like after your surgery. Um, it was just really difficult for me. I think the 2 weeks I was out of work were super depressing for me. I was trying to adjust to this new stomach that I had just gotten, and um, emotionally, I was just devastated. I think the breakup with like what I've known all these years, like food, which, it was an unhealthy relationship, but it's still like you're grieving at the same time because that was your coping mechanism. So now that when you're going through stuff, it's like, who do I run to? Like, I used to run to like unhealthy foods like chips and whatever was your like your guilty pleasure, that's what I would run to. So it just became super difficult to go through things and not having that to lean on anymore, if you think about it, when we celebrate, it's like we celebrate with food. When you're going through heartache, it's you're doing it with food. When you're going literally through anything in life, you have the option of going to food. Any celebration, any birthdays, anything of that nature, it always involves food. And especially coming from like a traditional Hispanic family, all our celebrations include alcohol and food, and even though at this point in my life my relationship with alcohol was in a healthy state, my relationship with food was not. So um not only did I stop drinking after my surgery, but I completely went cold turkey on all the foods that I enjoyed to eat. um so that was really difficult, and it was like I said, it was kind of like a grieving process because you're saying goodbye to whatever you would run to when you were going through things, whatever it was, whether it was a celebration or whether it was, you were going through something negative in your life. So that was difficult. I was super depressed. Even going back to work after being off for 2 weeks was difficult because at work we celebrate a lot, and there's potlucks and there's food ordering and catering and snacks and desserts, and it was just super difficult. That was a way of socializing, and it was difficult. And I take away the food part of it, but it was just a lot to adjust to. I think my hormones were everywhere, and it took me probably a good month and a half, possibly 2 months, to just accept my new life, my new lifestyle that I was living, that I am living. Um, so in a couple days, it will be my 3rd month post op, and I've lost over 40 pounds. It's now like 46 pounds that I've lost total since my surgery. And now I'm feeling more positive about my decision. Now, if you were to ask me, I'm like, why didn't I get it done sooner? Like, it changed so many aspects of my life. Like, not only my health, but mentally, I feel like I'm in a better space. Um, I feel like more confident. Although I'm not at like my peak where I want to be, what my goal is. Um, not only physically but mentally, I'm not like where I need to be, where I feel like I need to be. I do feel more confident, and I'm more like accepting of myself and the steps that I've taken so far and the decisions I have made. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm able to share this with you guys, and not only share it like verbally but also physically. Like, I'm in front of a camera and I'm talking to you guys, and if this were to happen 4 months ago, even 3 months ago, I don't think I would be able to do it. I uh, you guys heard my previous episodes where I discuss how I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been wanting to start YouTube. I've been wanting to start a podcast. Like, these have been things that I've discussed for so many years, but I never felt the courage to actually do it. You guys, this is not easy. Like, standing in front of a camera and having my whole life out there, it's not easy, but it was something that I felt it was necessary. Um, it's just a personal goal of mine. I've always been into things with substance, like even conversations that I have. Like, I'm a very deep person and I like to discuss deep things. So I've always been like this my whole life. Like, I've always wanted to um get deep, like, with conversations, and sometimes it's you can't have those conversations with everyone. So this is my way of having those conversations, like, i I enjoy these types of moments, these type of conversations, and I feel like this is my way of kind of getting that, like, I don't have access to thousands of people, but I feel like through the camera, through audio, I'm able to speak to you guys, like, in a more in a way with more substance than I would normally have um the opportunity to do. So yeah, so I got my procedure done, and I could honestly tell you that I don't regret it one bit. Although sometimes I get like when you want to go out and have like dinner and brunch and all that stuff, and like I said, right now I'm not drinking just because the doctor did tell me to wait a year before drinking, and I've heard of people like waiting 5 months or whenever their body, is ready to drink. But I'm not there yet. I mean, it's not, sometimes, yeah, like I want a little champagne or stuff like that, but I'm not a big drinker anyway, so it's not like huge. I think the main thing for me is like having social interactions where I'm not like constantly eating, like when you go to a restaurant, or like let's go to brunch, or let's go here, you want to like eat and talk and stuff. But now I'm learning different methods of being able to be social and go out. Like, I still go out and have breakfast with my family. Like, we still do that, I just eat differently than everyone else. And I'm glad to be open like this, because then people would be questioning like, why does she only eat like this, or why does she, like, literally I eat like a bird. So I only have a few bites, and then you know I'm done and I'm satisfied. Like, I literally don't, some days I'm starving, but once I have like a bite or two, then I'm good. And other days I literally have to make myself eat. Like, I don't get hungry. Based on the research I've done, the part that they remove, like, of your stomach, is something that alerts your brain that you're hungry. So I think that helps. Um, and also just your relationship with food changes. I When at my heaviest, which was just a few months ago, um, I felt really bad about myself. Like, I could barely look at myself in the mirror. Like, when people would take pictures, I could barely recognize myself. I grew up being thin my whole life, and I didn't struggle with weight till I got to my probably late 20s, when I started to realize that, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight, even before my daughter, but after my daughter, it's when, as you can, as I've mentioned before, I had hyperemesis gravidarum with my pregnancy with her. So my first 2 trimesters, I could barely eat anything. So I was like losing weight drastically. And it wasn't until my 3rd trimester where I was able to enjoy food again. But then after I had her, I feel like I overindulged. Like, from the times I was unable to eat and like have those like pregnancy cravings and all that stuff, like, I feel like I freaking took advantage of that. And then when COVID hit, like, that was another excuse. So things just kept on happening that I would um kind of justify it in my head. But then when the time came when I would like look at pictures and stuff, it would kind of hit me in the face like, damn girl, like, you're not just like a little overweight. You're like you're like super overweight, you know? And when you have people around you that are like, like Gerard never made me feel like horrible about my weight. But I mean, we're not blind. We can see that, I gained weight. And my mom, like, she's always kept it 100 with me. So I could never, like, I could never just live a lie with my mom because she'll let me know real quick, like, girl, like, what's going on? Like, you're gaining weight. And I think for a minute, I just became really like, I didn't want to face the truth until I physically had to see it, like, in pictures. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not even comfortable taking pictures with my daughter, like, on holidays or like birthday parties. Like, I did not want to get my picture taken. Like, I'll take a picture of everyone else, but with me in it, no, no way. Um, so I think all those little things just kept on accumulating, and then I was like, okay, I cannot live like this. Like, I can't live like this anymore. And you could just tell that I was unhappy because the that like insecurities of mine turned into anger. So I became kind of like a little bit of a hater, like when it came to like me not being able to wear certain clothes that I wanted to wear, like for summer. Like I just didn't feel comfortable. And I don't have that type of self-esteem, like where I could feel confident in whatever skin I'm in, which is something that I do regret not accomplishing prior to my procedure. Like, I wish I would have been in that stage where I completely accepted myself prior to my procedure. Like, yeah, I'm still going to have the procedure, but I want to make sure that I'm fully accepting myself at any stage that I'm in. Like, any season that you're in, just fully accept and love yourself for who you are in that season. And I never got there. I never got there when I got my procedure. I just wanted it to end, and I wanted me to get the procedure done and boop, quick fix. Like, let's lose this weight and I'll be happy again. And no, that's not the way life works. Like, actually, the procedure made me face the worst part of me, which is like the attitude I had, like the attitude that I had towards myself, like the anger that I had towards myself, because it kept on like projecting into anger towards other people, like Gerard, like just people that I live with, which was Gerard. Poor thing. I'm sorry, but sometimes you get angry at the closest people to you, but it's just a projection on how you feel like inside. And I was very angry that I had to get to a point that I had to make that decision to get a procedure or just lose myself completely. Because I mean, my health was, I'm 34, you guys. My health was not good at all because I was getting heavy. I was getting heavier, and my body is not meant to be like that. Like, I've always been thin, and I feel like it just wasn't who I am at the core. So I just knew that I had to make a decision, whether it was going to be a life changing decision like that, to be able to make better decisions. And it's just a tool. Like, a lot of people say you chose a easy way out, surgery, that procedure is just for lazy people. And it's not, you guys. There's so much work that goes into it. I have to make a decision every day to choose food that's going to nourish me and like make me feel good, and not like fried foods and chips and stuff like that. Like, um it's just decisions that you have to make every day. It's like being on a diet constantly. But it's a lifestyle change. And obviously this could be reversed. You could extend your sleeve. For those that know, you could re-extend it. Like, I can't have soda. Anything carbonated will just result in me feeling sick and also stretching my sleeve. So I do not want to do that. So I have to make decisions every day, to just be be better and to also protect myself, like work on my health and stuff. So it's everyday decisions, and it's not easy. It takes a lot of work and willpower and discipline. Um so yeah, I mean, I don't regret it, but it is difficult. Um, and also, I just think it's important that if I have any advice to give anyone, it's just to try to work on your self esteem in any stage that you're in, because that's something that I didn't put too much thought and work into, and it's something that I'm doing just now. Like um doing things I want to do, like this, like filming, posting it on YouTube for the whole world to see. Like when I look back at the episodes I've already recorded the audio to, um I cringe sometimes, you guys, because I forget that anyone could just pop on a podcast and just hear a story. And there's stories that maybe like I just recorded, but I forget, like in the back of my head, dude, like they're gonna be there for anyone to listen to whenever they want. And obviously, I'm not gonna take them down or anything, because that's my story and I'm proud of it and I accept it as being my story. But it's also hard to know that, like, they're there for they're at everyone has access to them, to my voice, to my stories, to moments where I'm crying, moments where my heart is broken, or moments where I'm being very open. And it's hard to watch, but just like this one, like I'm filming, I'm posting it on YouTube, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I mean, at this point, I'm an open book, and I'm okay with that. I don't regret this at all. And I hope that my stories, my experiences could be relatable to some of you. And I hope that this will bring out different conversations, not just of this topic, but any topic, honestly. I guarantee you that we can all relate in some way and somehow. We're more relatable than not being. So I thank you guys so much for supporting me. Again, I ask for your patience during this transition because, like I said, I am starting a new position, so my schedule is changing. It's getting a little tighter, but I'm not giving up. I want to be consistent and I want to keep doing what I love to do, which is this. So again, thank you so much for continuing to ride this wave with me. And until next time, you guys, be chill. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media or leave a rating and a review. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on @BeChill_podcast on Instagram. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.